Well, that's, I don't want to say it's a tough question. Me personally, so much I have kind of been staying away from anything that has to do with politics, but there comes a point where you cannot just really stay away because the things are right there, it's right in your face, and you are either observing or hearing about it, and you really cannot detach yourself from it. And to answer directly to your questions, no. I think I am one of many people who probably are frustrated by the way things are being handled. In when you're saying the previous government, and again, many people are asking, which government do we have? Is there a current government? Because you do have to ask that question. Because when you're looking at from the time the earthquake took place, from the time they have spoken to our Mr. President, and afterwards to the whole aftermath, his presence has not really been felt or known, and he hasn't really voiced in a way that we would want to feel, okay, this is a leader, this is a catastrophe that happened to his nation, so he needs to take charge and lead, which is what he's supposed to do. I am not pleased at all.
I believe that it's not a question of being camera shy. Other than that, he wouldn't choose to be president.
Right. Like you said, I don't think it has anything to do with being shy or, excuse me, camera shy, because this is his second term. So by now it's something that he should really be used to. He ran a campaign, not once, but twice, and he has addressed the nation. He's made public speeches many, many times before.
So therefore, one can easily say that he has chosen not to address the whole nation in respect to the after the earthquake.
Right, the time that he was supposed to. He has come up every now and then, little appearances to say a few things. However, the time that when it was really expected of him as a head of state to come forward when the whole catastrophe, in a disastrous moment when everything had just happened fresh, this was the time that we expected to see him compose himself and kind of reach out to the nation. Well, thank God right now, I mean, I'm not to go back, not complaining. Everyone, a lot of people have been very helpful. We've gotten international help, so which is great. However, if we were depending on him at that moment to kind of, okay, this is what we need at the present time, and this is what we're about to do, that would have been different.
Well, and then the other problem is it's okay not to have the financial resources in order to respond to a natural catastrophe, but as a leader, I think his presence was expected. Not a week later, not 2 weeks later,
absolutely.
But you need to come out and talk to the people. And even if you didn't have electricity, so a megaphone would be used by a real leader in order to address the people. Don't you agree?
Absolutely, I totally agree. And I think that's what lacked from him at that time. And the people felt, okay, who do we listen to? What is the next step? And I was even on the radio. They were giving an interview. It was a deputy, I would say a state representative, yes. That would be, and he was giving an interview on that radio. That was the only show being broadcasted at the time. How he was going up and down, trying to find resources, trying to help out, and he said, well, right now I am exhausted. I'm just waiting for a word from our president, or I'm waiting for a word from the government. And there was nothing he could have done at the time. So there was a lack of communication. And I think that first period could have handled differently if there was a different attitude or a different response from him.
In a more logical sense, I know that we cannot compare Chile with Haiti, but even on a smaller scale, you look at the difference that how the Chile's president came out right after the earthquake and then addressed the people of Chile.
Right.
And like I said, this is something that you expect a leader
definitely.
A head of state to do.
Absolutely. And again, she sent out her statement, already had a general assessment and knew exactly what they were in need of. Okay, I'm not gonna need help in that aspect, but we will need temporary bridges, we will need extra communication devices and so forth. She was able to know right then and there to what to request from the outside international help.
Is it fair to say that the Haitian administration never, not in a million years, think that there will be a natural disaster in the country? So to the point that they at least have to prepare.
Well,
in a sense?
we've had a few hurricanes that devastated many towns before, more than once. We've had many deaths that resulted from those. So you would think after such things that there would be some type of disaster response plan. And well, to my knowledge anyways, from what I've observed or seen, I don't think that was ever put in place.
Well, I guess it is safe to say,
It
because
is safe to say.
if there was a plan, it would have been felt and the plan would have been seen.
Absolutely.
Well, sometimes you ask
yourself. It's fair
yourself
to say a lot of things with Mac, because this isn't just. We know. As a Haitian, and you're Haitian yourself, it didn't really only have to take this particular disaster to happen. We haven't been happy with the government in the past. They haven't responded or answer to minor needs. So I'm not surprised at all. So it's just wow.
I have more questions, and those are questions that concern Haitian citizens have, and I'm only vehiculating those questions, and then to see if we can together get some answers,
right,
and see what solution that we can have.
What we could come.
So basically, my next question will be, I know, and I have heard many Haitians that are fed up and embarrassed by the way the Haitian government has been negotiating with the international non-profit organizations in terms of preventing all medical items from getting to the people. How do you feel yourself about, the tax that they're imposing on the nations?
Well, in all honesty, I know the tax situation, although an important issue, is a very important component, because we do need the taxes. We know we're thinking about in Haiti state right now.
Mm-hmm.
We probably would need the extra money that the government would probably need it just for the reconstruction and everything. But I think it's premature. We're still in a very premature state for them to have taxes and still have the organizations having to pay tax to get to get the things out. And we're talking about medical supplies or medical equipment that's going towards the Haitian citizen, people who are in need. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a bit premature right now.
I was sitting in front of the TV set while I was in the hotel, and with my two eyes I saw that the reporter was asking the international people there who are trying to come in the country with a bunch of medical supplies, and they couldn't pass through the custom because they were asked to pay taxes. I'm not talking about a month later. I'm not talking about almost 2 months later. I'm talking about the very first week, which means that it was way too early to be imposing tax on people that are coming in the country to help. So it's not that those people are bringing the medical supplies in order to sell it to a pharmacy, mm-hmm. But yet, and the reporter was telling the people, well, why can't you get in with the thing? Because those are the nations, and that you're trying to deliver to the Haitian people. And they said that, yeah, they asked us to pay taxes. And then the guy says, what taxes? He said, well, it's not about tax. It's just like bribe. They want to bribe so that we can pay money on the side in order to get the supplies
That
into
is
the people.
despicable. I mean, in a state that we are, the current state that we are in, this is not what we would want to see our nation being portrayed as. I mean, the way I see it, I understand during this time there could be many people trying to get things in and did for businesses or personal reasons. However, we're talking about organizations. I understand they have to go through customs. Maybe they have to go and be checked out because you could never be too sure. After all, this is things coming outside of out of the country into the country. But as far as making these people pay, as long as they should, I mean, these organizations are legitimate, they are credible, and they can be verified that these items they're bringing in, it's not to be resold, it's not for business purpose. I don't think any taxes should have been